everyone, this is Kitty Affirmations here, and I'm here to do this VTO. And now I just want to get this video out the way. So, of a heads up in the beginning of this video, it might be a long video. Just be expected. Alright, so I said there was a story that will be coming. And I want to discuss about my journey of my story of my life with what happened. And y'all guys seen the video, I was in the hospital. So from point blank here, from the beginning of the stages, I want people to be aware of it too. The stages started acting up very mild, like it starts with your stomach. Like you be starting to feel upset stomach a lot. And I'm not, like I said before I begin, actually, everybody's going to have different symptoms of how their body reacts. Everybody definitely is kind of odd, but I'm just giving this story out if it happens to others as the same as myself. But, anyways, back to it. It started with my stomach. That's when I know I started feeling a lot of pain. I'm going to get a little personal here. Sometimes you're going to have the runs off and on as diarrhea. And then sometimes you will get constipated a lot, especially if you start taking anti-diarrhea pills. That's what I call it, which there's a different name for that. But anyways, I started taking that to like also relax me. And I had advice years ago. Somebody had, I started trying the anti-diarrhea pills. This doesn't help for stools, you know, especially if you're very lightweight. you know, it will definitely help like relax you. Sometimes you have to take more than one to actually work. Um, so yeah, I just want to have y'all guys be aware of that. So yeah, I started taking it because of how my system was, and I was going through a lot of freaking anxiety attacks. Almost, it felt like anxiety attacks. I was scared. I was shaking all the time. I didn't know what was going on. Uh, but by my birthday month of last year, 21, that's when it started for me, and it was like towards October, I started feeling it, and there was some accidents that started by that time. I'm just going to do this because I don't like saying the word. um, so this come from up here, and that's when it started by October, and it just started very light, mild by that time. But through that month, I still wasn't feeling good. By that time, also, I was literally living in a chair, sleeping in a chair. I couldn't sleep in my bed either. I couldn't lay flat. And then I noticed by a few weeks down the road, I think by October or beginning of November time, I noticed my stomach was getting bigger. I thought at first, people was complimenting me. Oh, you look pregnant. No, 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 no. I know when I'm pregnant, trust me. But anyways, yeah, that's how it practically looked like. My stomach started growing. I had no idea what was going on. Um, in November, I started getting way worse. That was the time of 21 of November that I was just literally living off the floor. I started getting like almost weak flashes. I couldn't really eat so much. That's why I started doing the beginning of my channel. I started doing a lot of baby food. I advise a lot of people to eat very small, and that's why I did a lot of baby food, because I couldn't tolerate certain foods. But that's when I couldn't eat for weeks, I was literally sucking on ice cubes, chicken broth, try to drink enough water as possible to keep myself, from getting a certain dehydration. Um, and I was dehydrated because of that. because I was literally living off the floor in the bathroom and in my bedroom, and that was just very horrible of experience that I literally went through. So from that time, I literally went and seen doctors. That's when they gave me my results, and the results came back as I had a tumor with a mass. And they wanted to have me come back to the doctor, but I couldn't. So they told me the results on the phone, and that's when I found that out. So that's when she said it could be something as cancer. They didn't know what it was yet, but they did do a CT scan and they seen everything that was in there. My belly was literally, you know, filled up with I think 10 liters of fluid. That was very dangerous. So, but in the same frame of sense of mind, I had to keep myself being positive, not to worry as much. I had others that was there for me to try to help me as possible, but their help for me wasn't 100% in helping correctly. So, you know, it just took a very bad toll. I was trying to stay strong as possible. I was hiding a lot of my emotions through that time too. So, you know, and, and then next I went to see my surgeon for the first time in December. Um, that's when they showed me the CT scans, which I was very shocked. I was very like so down, I was so scared, I didn't know, you know. As for a person, as for their first surgery of their experience, they're definitely going to get to that, scary kind of, thinking. Your worries, you feel like you're thinking a lot of negativity. Your mind is just not there correctly. It's just you froze. And that's how I felt. I literally froze just looking at the results. And that's when he was telling me what's going to be coming out. He took a lot of things out. Uh, One I would like to mention is the appendix, because the appendix can cause a lot of serious problems. So in one degree, I was happy that they took that out of me, because down the road, yeah, you really can get a lot of problems with that. Um, so yeah, practically it started from apparently from my ovaries. My ovaries was too rotted, so that's why I got diagnosed with what I mentioned on my channel, which I will mention that name here in a minute. But yeah, I'm just mentioning the parts where it started. Um, and then I just wanted to mention the appendix part, because to me that's very important. And people that has not been taking their appendix out, I advise y'all guys to get it out, because it will cause so much problems with your stomach, your sides, your kidneys. Just be very aware of that. So I'm gonna move on. So after with all this that took place, I was supposed to go through surgery in January. Now that was the 22 of this year. Um, I got so paranoid. I just got up. I went. I did not want to go at all, and it was like it was so horrible for me. So, you know, I finally went in January, believe it or well, not January. I just had like as soon as I walked in to the hospital, pro se, I started crying. I started having a panic attack. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't breathe. I just literally, the nurse was like, hey, you want to go smoke a cigarette? Go smoke a cigarette. And that's what I did. And I just, as soon as I started smoking a cigarette, I was still shaking like pretty bad. I couldn't have, you know, the effort to go back in there. So I just went back home that day. And after that month, okay, I started going through some dark places. After everything, I mean, I did start going through some dark places when I started getting sick, when it started getting worse around November time. But it was like a mild darkness, very light. But after when I went through that hospital, my darkness went a little bit more deeper. Um, and that's when it took a big toll on me. I came home, started crying, because I had other people that was very concerned over me and worried, you know. But just because you have people surrounded by you that loves you, it just still feels like pro se that you feel alone. Your mind just goes in this wrong path, and that's what it took me by that time. And I just felt like I wanted to die, and I didn't know what to do, how to react, and all I thought was just focusing on that part. You know what I mean? So it was very of the worst experience I ever had. It just felt like I wanted to join my family members that passed away. Like I'd rather be with them, but you know, I remember of a recall. One of the nurses at the hospital, which is not made for crazy people, guys, but this does help people, and I got reference to see a therapist because I was very, like I said, I was very in a dark place. The surgery was my first time. I didn't know how to react to any of it. I just practically was in like a little cave, like a little bear. Just because I had loved ones around me, I just felt like I want people to leave me alone. And this is how I felt. And it's like, this is me. This is who I am. And just go away, you know? So yeah, this is a very little intense conversation for me, guys, but I just want y'all guys to like understand my story and why Kitty Affirmations created this channel. And this is why I'm trying to help people. I help people for a lot of personal reasons because what I went through. So anyways, back to the story a little bit. So when I got referenced to a therapist, and I was very nervous, like speaking to a therapist, believe it or not, guys. Which is not my first time. I am going to admit it on my channel. I have seen a therapist for the first time, and this is actually my second time getting back on it because there's been times that I have been into that dark places a couple times, and but this one to me was very serious, and I had to do it because if I didn't, I just feel like I would have just already, got worse in that certain stage, like almost suicide, guys. But it really wasn't. Um, it just felt like, I just wanted to let my life go. That's how sad it was for me. So yeah, it wasn't all that great. So I finally got to see a therapist before my surgery was rescheduled back in February of 21. Well, 22, I mean. My bad. This year, 22, February. That's when my surgery came. And if y'all guys could tell, y'all guys could go all the way down, and that's when it was. So I had at least a month to get myself together from stepping forward in my life. So when I started speaking to her, believe it or not, it was helping. She was helping to a lot of degrees for me in the beginning, which it was. She was there to help me to face my fears, and being scared, for the first time of my surgery. And it wasn't just her. I had other people that was still there for me, as I was saying. People that is there that still care and surrounded by you does care. So yeah, I started seeing my therapist, and it did started helping. And after like, probably around, like, I was only with her probably, like I said, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Practically, I was almost with her for 9 months. And after, when it got towards the ending kind of a thing, it did not work so well. And I just had to just drop my therapist. There was a couple things that was misunderstood from a therapist from saying to me, and I didn't like it, so I felt like I got disrespected and I let her go. But anyways, I'm going to go back to the therapist beginning. As you know, I do advise people to get a therapist if you ever go through any dark times like this, or when you're diagnosed of what I had before. And like I said, I still get checked every 3 to 4 months. I try to push it to 5 months if possible, but you're the only person that knows your body. So that gives you a general idea of when you want to feel comfortable to go. If you feel forced, disrespected, which this was advice that somebody gave me, there is millions of doctors out here. Go see somebody else. And that is actually true, because that puts a less, relief on your shoulder. Same thing with this medication, guys. Even if you're late, don't worry about it. If you have insomnia, just sleep. Take it when you get up. I went through that process myself. I was like so stressed out because how the doctors was getting on me about that medication, letrozole, as y'all guys notice on my channel, which that is for the cancer. Um, but I just feel like, is this not this moment? I feel like it is. Any type of situation you have, I do advise a lot of people on my channel to go see a therapist, especially if you're in a certain dark place. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go back, from my story. Um, since I mentioned about the therapist, that's out the way. So when I went through surgery, from that 1 month went by. I finally went in February. When I got there, I was so brave because, I started doing a lot of these affirmations, trying to do a lot of positive stuff in my life. And that's when I started doing like a family poster, as y'all guys notice. Something to keep y'all guys like very distracted in a very positive place. And just speaking about this, y'all may look at me like, oh no, it's like a negative kind of a thing because she's going back of her history, what's going on. But actually, it kind of feels good letting it out and help people. And, you know, it's a little deep for me, but it's just to the point where it's like, it makes me feel good because it's finally out of 2022 this year. I will have a brand new year starting in 2023. You know what I mean? So this is why I'm doing this story, to get it out the way. So as I was saying, back when I went to the hospital, I was like, as soon as I walked through those doors, I literally took a deep breath. Literally a deep breath. And then I just finally went down the stairs, signed in, used the bathroom because I was on this, you had to clear your system out. And then I finally got called in the back, and then I got called in another back, went into another waiting room, and I was probably in that waiting room probably for like 5-10 minutes, and they took me in the back, and I started getting prepped. I had that positive frame of mindset, like nothing bad was going to happen. I had, y'all guys had to go in, which I learned this from the best of somebody. You had to go in, laughing. Have fun, enjoy it. Even though you know what's going to happen, but you still had to put your frame of mindset in that beautiful place of being happy. Choose somewhere that you want to be as a daydream, and choose that happy place and just have fun with the doctors. Even if this is your first. Yeah, it was scary. They got me in so fast. I had every doctor come in, and they was like boom, 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 and I was already in the operating room. And I thought I couldn't handle seeing that room, but they do give you some medication. That's what they did. They gave me some common medication. I don't know what they gave me, but I was like half like, ooh, okay. But yeah, when you go in surgeries like this, I even had advice from somebody that everybody does it different. But see, like I said, I'm a spiritual person. So I do my spiritual, praying. And then I literally speak to God and, that is actually a comforting right there to help you, to get going through that process. Um, it was very funny. I loved it, even though it was very scary. Believe it or not, y'all got surprised for somebody as a first surgery that they loved it. Nobody really loves it. Is this? I loved how how strong I was. I loved how everything went. I loved how the doctors took care of me. I loved how it just I got so better, and I got more energy. I could do things when I get done, and here I am going crazy. So yeah, I God bless the doctors. Tell them thank you. Even if I could live till I'm 60 years old, I appreciate it. And I felt amazing. I mean, we all go through a pain cycle there. But regardless, at the end of the day, it's like I am blessed to be alive after everything I went through. So I want to go back into where I said it started from my ovaries. The ovaries was too rotted because I got diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Now, that's where it started. They don't know how it developed. They don't know how. Um, so I'm not going to get too personal on that part, but um, I'm sure y'all guys would know exactly. Like you just mentioned about your ovaries. Uh, something this kind of like I don't know how, but one of the ovaries started. It could have like stopped as a virus like that for years, because all my life I was living off a heating pad on my stomach. And I just felt like something was off, but the same from a sense of mind, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's gas pain, or I was on my period and by that time, guys, and I'm thinking of other things, and I wasn't eating correctly, so I was suffering very tiny amounts of food through a lot of my life. So, you know, I look back of life, maybe I should have caught it then by that time, but I just had a frame of mindset. I'm not going to be concerned about it. I'm not going to worry about it. And I just lived my life, and that's what I did. So, um, is this? It was a little sad how my health went, and I even had a few people notice that how my health changed a lot. Uh, it was a very hard life for me, from going through a lot of health issues. Just not before this, I was still going through a lot of health issues with different kind of small things on my body. And that's when a person that's homeless like that is just really bad to like bad timing to take care of yourself. And when you don't have the money like that, you know what I mean. So yeah, for me, all that it just started, and I just got into a place pro se, which is I don't mention everybody on my channel, but yeah, I am living with a family member of mine's, and but is this is a little hard, but in some degrees, I still blessed day by day of how I look, of how I'm living. So, but anyways, back to the ovaries. It started from the ovaries, and then after the ovaries, it just grew some kind of tumor around, I guess, around my stomach area. And they didn't say where, but I felt like it was on this side because I had so much pain on that side. Uh, but yeah, I don't think they ever told me. I know it's probably on my records, but that's just what I feel. It was on this side. My stomach was over bloating. I was living still off of a heating pad to try to ease the pain a little bit. But yeah, it started from the ovaries, from tumor. My stomach started growing liquid fluid inside of it. Um, and I was just constantly losing weight. My face was very thin. I almost weighed almost near 90, like 90 something, 99. I literally lost weight because my minimum average was like 140. But It's normally 130, 140. But that's how much I normally weigh. And since I eat very small, my gain is still is process going slow, kind of like. But I am gaining my weight back. The last I recall, I weighed 119, and I might end up weighing a little bit 120 now or something like that because I have been eating like crazy, guys. You know, now my appetite is like wonderful again. Some days when my stomach hurts when I stretch it, you know, that's because my stomach is still a little sensitive in some kind of degrees, even though my surgery's been in February. So you count from February from now, almost like 11 months. By February of next year, of 23, will be a year. So yeah, I still got my scar there. You know, it is clearing up, but um, is this? I'm letting y'all guys know of how it, you know, started that way. You know, it's almost like an egg. When a person gets pregnant, it could sometimes like stop it, like in a certain area of your body, and it wasn't developing correctly, and it just turned into a virus, kind of a like, and it could have paused like that for years, and then it just started developing years later, believe it or not. But like I said, they don't know how it started, but I'm just thinking of, I think, how I think it did started and how it happened. But I won't be getting more tests done regardless. I mean, they're going to, I think they're going to do one test on me, which I'm not going to bring that to my channel because I feel like that is a little bit more personal because that is my life. Is this, I wanted to share this story with y'all guys so y'all guys understand. So yeah, from the beginning, from how I am now, which, you know, I am doing a lot better than who I used to be. You know, I'm not the same person who I was. I think literally the surgery just literally opened my eyes to see reality of this world, and it just put me in a better frame of mindset. You know, you don't take people for granted. You don't take anything for granted. You know, y'all guys need to cherish the moment. You know, even if y'all guys are alive today, you know, you bless that moment. You know, don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about the following week. Don't worry about nothing. You worry about today, what's happening today. You know, is this not worry, but you just, you know, focus on that moment, you know. And I even said on my channel like plenty times at the end of my videos, you know, don't fight with nobody, you know, just love somebody, care for them, open up, you know, you always got to have an open arm for everybody, you know. You have people in this world that, you know, that doesn't have a roof like yourself, you know, don't have food like you know, people's living homeless, you know. And that's why I tell a lot of people, you know, you always got to bless the day, be grateful, you know, just cherish the people that surround you right now because one day they're gone. So this is why I created Kitty Affirmation, guys, because of what I directly went through, and my diagnosis came out to ovarian cancer. And I got that results by March when I pulled out the staples, and after when everything just started taking place from my ending, I just started living my life. You know, don't let your doctors get in the way. Go live your life. Uh, You know, if you're not used to seeing doctors like I am monthly or 2 to 3, 4 months, then, you know, I want y'all guys to take advice from a person that went through it. Go on vacations. Go do something. Please don't stay in the house wasting your life, you know. Go enjoy it at the same time instead of worrying about yourself, you know, especially with your health. You know, the more you worry about your health, the more negative y'all guys are going to be. You know, go live your life and be positive and open your heart, love people, you know, and I advise a lot of people to do that. This, you know, don't fight. I really don't like people fighting, especially, you know, over the stupidity things. I've been there myself through my life, and that is right there is taking life for granted. So, please enjoy your life. You know, don't let cancer get in your way. Any type of cancer y'all guys have out here, don't let it get in your way. Even for kids or your kids out here that is young going through chemo, Don't put your kids through chemo. Don't put nobody through chemo. Not even anybody in your family. Just not kids. Don't put nobody in through chemo. Chemo kills y'all guys faster. So this is why I bought letrozole to my channel, because apparently it does help. You know, apparently there has not been one patient, what I understand by my doctor, and these just literally fight your cancer. And people has been living apparently a long time, and I just advise y'all guys to take this medication. If y'all guys are not medication people, I'm not either, but I do it because I just, you know, I want to be happy and live a long life as possible. In which, you know, I do think of that too. You know, it's just not with these medications. You know, I thought about, you know, I caught it on time. I'm young. You know, I don't really think it's going to come back anymore. And that's what the spirit of y'all mindset has to be, no matter what. No matter what type of cancer it is, you know, y'all guys enjoy life. Do your daily basis, what y'all guys do. And then just go crazy. You know what I mean? So, other than that, guys, I think I explained everything on my story. And if I do forget anything, there will be a part 2 on this story. But we'll see. But right now, I'm just going to leave it as this right here. Get everything off my chest as much as I can. So, for right now, guys, I hope y'all guys like this video. Give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below so you guys be notified. Other than that, y'all guys always stay blessed and positive. Read the Bible or something that y'all guys are, you know, follow by your religion. And other than that, always cherish today. So any of that, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go. So y'all guys take care. God bless and peace out.